typically referred to as God are actually extraterrestrial. Beings that they just revere as God, but they're now nowhere near prime source creator. All right. A lot of any being that actually wants to be revered as a God is malevolent in nature. No being is going to want to take your sovereignty because that's breaking universal law. So if any being descends upon you and actually tells you to kneel or worship it, then at that point you need to question it. At that point you need to know it's a demon because it needs your ashe in order to basically exist. This is also why religious constructs was created. Religion was created for the purpose to take you outside of yourself from realizing that you're sovereign. The Roman Emperor Constantine created Christianity in 325 AD. John Smith is responsible for the Baptist religion. Charles Parham created the Pentecostal religion in 1901. Joseph Smith created the Mormon religion in 1830. Charles Taze Russell created Jehovah's Witness religion, all right? William Miller created the Seventh-day Adventists, and Francis Champollion founded Egyptology, all right? And these were all colonizers that created the Bibles. Constantine is actually responsible for the name Jesus, all right? A lot of you talk about Jesus, but the J didn't exist 2,000 years ago. The J was created by Gian Tracinio in the year 1524, all right? All the characters in the Bible with the letter J, it's actually made up. It's falsified. J was just created just recently. This is the man who created the letter J. His name is Gian Giorgio Tricino, and he created the letter J in the year 1524, which means the letter J is only approximately 502 years old. So if so-called Jesus, right, was born 2,000 something years ago, that means his name couldn't be Jesus. So a lot of times people come underneath my comments and they say something about Jesus, that, etc., not realizing that Jesus only means hell Zeus. All right, and Zeus is actually Enlil. So when they talk about the name Jesus, this is in representation of worship and veneration to Enlil, who is the sky father in the Anunnaki pantheon. So your sky daddy is actually Enlil, who is a malevolent Anunnaki extraterrestrial biological entity. The fact of the matter is we really need to wake the hell up and get out of religion. It was created for the sole purpose of mind control and manipulation. This is why people like Charles Collick Jones Sr. created books like Making a Negro Christian or How to Create a Negro Christian. Their objective was to completely pull us away from our ancestral ways. All right. And once they did that, they detached us from the Akashic records. The concept of Christ is really a level of consciousness that we're trying to reach. Christos consciousness. Remember, I told you that the pineal gland is composed of piezoelectric microcrystals called magnetites, dendrites, and calcites, which are crystals, all right? This is associated with activation of the 12 silicate matrix, which is our crystalline body, hence the term Christ consciousness, all right? Once you reach that pinnacle of consciousness, at that point in time, you step outside the three-dimensional construct and you can peek beyond the veil and see beyond the fourth wall. What people don't realize is that we were prisoners of war. The concept of slavery is actually false. We were actually prisoners of war, and we didn't lay down. It was no way that we were free. It's something called the Gullah Wars. You need to research. And the Gullah Wars was basically about us freeing ourselves. We freed ourselves. We weren't free. All right, so they wanted us to believe that we were docile and laid down and eventually were laid free, but that's not the case. One of the ways that we were subjugated and the way they kept our people docile was through religion, through Christianity. And a lot of you guys are still the same way, brainwashed and manipulated by this religious construct that was meant to take you away from your true primordial essence. It's time to wake the hell up. They told you 666 was bad when they really represent the formula for melanin. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Right now is the time that we reactivate our pineal gland because they purposely closed it. We need to get to utilizing herbs like Hirataki, Bacopa minori, lion's mane mushroom. These are all herbs that will activate your pineal gland. Every day I've been dreaming. I've been having astral projection and outer body experiences every single night as of recently due to consistent Schumann resonance spikes and solar flares. All right. This is a time where it's a mass awakening all over the planet. And sadly, a lot of y'all are still sleeping because you're glued to religion. I recommend utilization of herbs like blue lotus. I've been drinking blue lotus tea every single night. And every night I've been having amazing astral projection experiences and OBEs as well as crazy lucid dreams. On a consistent basis. Blue lotus is composed of apomorphine, which is a psychoactive alkaloid that activates the pineal gland. And it's smokable and